On the June general election ballot, voters will be asked if they want to change the current election cycle to coincide with state and federal elections. Are you in favor of changing the election cycle, or do you believe it should remain as is? And we ask you to be as specific in your answer as possible.
Well, being the one that authored the question
oh yeah, I forgot
in the
that.
first place, and I did write the con question for the ballot with
We're asking all the candidates the same question.
with the assistance of two other gentlemen. I'm absolutely opposed to changing the election dates, and I can start with A and go to Z as to why. There is no great benefit in doing so. The city, when I debated with one of the council members over this issue 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, said, well, you know, the big argument that they had was we were going to spend $43,000 every 2 years on an election. And I tried to pinpoint that down, and my cohort in writing this program did also, this ballot question. And the city was never able to justify the expenditures to, did we spend this much and not? I did a lot of research before I came up with the con position on this. I couldn't find any place in the United States that spent that much money on a local election with a population as small as ours and 2 polling places. So that was one argument. The other argument, of course, was signage, and that doesn't hold any water whatsoever because you have a jillion signs when you have everybody running at the same time for all the offices. The third, of course, is we'd be at the end of a ballot, and that's a given fact. So my answer in a nutshell is no, leave things alone. The legislature, just the other day, this question was up at the legislature, and they threw it out the window. And even though it's water under the bridge, the city wanted to change this date for a specific reason, and I can assure you it wasn't the money savings, and I'm not going to go into any details.
Okay, all right, thanks. Should you win election to the city council, you'll be part of negotiating a new contract next year with the unions. What part do you think the city council and mayor should play in union negotiations and setting contract requirements between the city and the unions?
I think that the people that should be doing the negotiation should be professional negotiators on the part of the city. You're dealing with serious issues and money and personnel. And I for one, am not a union or anti-union negotiator. I would like to see people in that truly know what they're doing when it comes to negotiations. I like to see the negotiations open instead of behind closed doors. I want the entire public to see what's going on. I think it would be more beneficial for both sides.
Okay.
Any more to the question?
No, those are your thoughts.
I think that's really the way I feel about it.
Okay.
As far as negotiate, yeah, you've got to negotiate. It's a fair way, and collective bargaining is a fair way of doing business. But it's got to be all above board and open.
Okay.